Okay, so today I thought we'd change location and sit outside. It's a beautiful day, and that is where the thumbnail image comes from. I was lying outside getting some sun, and I'll put a few more pictures here. And I just thought, now it's so hard to make these videos, not to brag, but if I say so myself, I feel like I've discovered the secret to staying slim-ish, slim enough throughout my 40s, and I am sure and I hope to continue into my 50s. And I just wanted to share today what I do personally. I've shared this before in videos as well, but it always bears repeating. And I know a lot of you are new here, so a lot of you don't know my whole story. So when I was young, I was 18, 19, I got to my personal heaviest, which admittedly is not that heavy. I think I topped the scale at around 64 kilograms. So it's not obese. I mean, it's not that bad. But for me, being a short person and a small-framed girl, it was enough to make me feel uncomfortable and for other people to comment. And I didn't like how it felt, and I just felt uncomfortable. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being that weight, but I prefer myself. I prefer how I feel. I prefer how active I am in general when I'm at a slightly lower weight. Well, when I say slightly, in total, in my life, my heaviest, I was about 64 kilograms. My lightest was around 50, maybe 49 when I was competing. On one day I might have dropped, I remember dropping just below 50 and thinking, whoa, okay, like enough now. So I have gone, like all of you, my weight has fluctuated. I've gone in a range over my lifetime. But after I was so heavy and then I lost the weight, I vowed never to gain that much weight again, because it's not easy to lose weight. I mean, we all know this. Our bodies, they want to hold on to the weight because, I guess, genetics from the past, when we were roaming the savannas, as people love to talk about, primitive man, we didn't have a lot of food. We never knew when the next meal was coming. We had to go out and hunt and dig and all those things. We know all this. And so, yeah, our bodies are holding on to the extra weight. They are doing what they are designed to do: store the extra weight, store the extra calories. And our bodies are very good at that. So it is a bit of a fight against what the body wants to do, to stay slim, to remain slim. But what I've learned is that it's easier, in my humble opinion, it's easier to remain at a lower weight than it is to gain and then lose. So every time I see the scale starting to creep up to where I don't want it to be, I do take a few measures to reduce my weight, like portion control, tracking my food. If I'm really like extreme, if I'm going to compete, for those of you who followed my journey, you know I was about to compete recently. Then I weighed and measured my food, and I ate clean, or the gym diet, which is lower in fat. I got enough protein. That really works. It really works. But what I've done over my lifetime, I haven't always competed. I don't always compete. But since the age of about 19, when I lost the weight, I have never been overweight again. Well, what anyone else would look at and say, oh, she's overweight. And even at 64 kilograms, maybe a lot of you would look at that picture and say, you weren't overweight. But you can look at that picture and say, okay, a bit chubby. And like I say, for my short stature, it's just not a look that I feel comfortable with. I remember battling with my jeans that used to fit, and not a nice feeling. And again, there's no judgment. I was the same human being inside. I really was. And I love myself no matter what weight I am. But I do prefer, just on a purely superficial physical level, I do prefer maintaining my weight and keeping it under 55 kilograms. What is that in pounds? Is that one? So I like to keep my weight under that. So for me, if the weight on the scale starts to go over 55 kilograms, I know it's time to do something. I really prefer it, just visually. I prefer when I'm around 51, 52. I just think then you can see a little bit more definition in my arms. But I'm not obsessed. I mean, come on, I'm 46. At this age, ladies, at this age, we have earned the right to just be in our bodies and to enjoy our food and to not be obsessive. And yes, I do think it's harder as you get older. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that, it's a magic trick that I have, my magic trick really is just to keep a watch on my weight and to adjust pretty quickly. And I guess it's like business people talk about, you take an action and then you quickly course correct based on whether a product is doing well or not. I kind of feel the same with weight loss, that I do something and I see if it works, and then I may think, okay, I've lost a bit of weight. I really want to relax now. I want to go out for dinners. Maybe we go away. We want to have cocktails, although I don't drink that much anymore either, which I think helps. But then you see the weight creep up and you go, okay, time to course correct, back off the food, back off this, or cut down on your, like for me, my weakness is peanut butter, chocolate, all the good things. Back off of those things, get back to healthy eating and reduce the weight. Now, I know that means that my weight is always fluctuating a little bit, but that's life. That is how most of us are or live. That is how all of our weights go up and down and up and down. And another little thing, please don't freak out in the morning if your weight is up by a pound or two. A pound or two is nothing. This morning, just for a test, I weighed myself, and I weighed myself before a pee. So I didn't get up and pee. I went straight to the scale because I knew I really was bursting. Then I went and peed, and then I got back on the scale. And you know what? It was 600 grams worth of pee. So, the fluid in your body really does determine a lot of the weight on the scale. If you are carrying water because it's hot and humid and you had a lot of salt and maybe a bit of inflammation from exercise, you can expect the scale to go up by 1 or 2 pounds. Now, of course, inflammation and fluid is not going to be 10 kilograms worth. So you can't just say, oh, I'm holding water, and then you go up another 2 kilograms. Oh, I'm holding more water. I mean, let's be reasonable. Your body, unless you have some kind of medical issue where you really are retaining a lot of fluid. But in general, water weight will be a couple of pounds here or there. But also don't freak out. That's the one thing I've learned over the years. Don't freak out. The scale will go a little bit up and then it goes down. Then it goes a little bit up and it goes down. And you can track and measure and monitor and weigh and play around. But I think in our 40s, the key really is to try and manage. So try your best. And I know it's difficult. I know it's not easy. But try your best to not let your weight creep up and then up and then up and then up. The minute it starts that upward creep, really try and take control and do something about it even if it is just for that next week. Bring it back down and then notice what you did that worked. Now, I've spoken a lot on this channel about the ways that I think work for weight loss, specifically for fat loss, because fat loss is a whole separate conversation. We can lose weight, but that could include muscle mass and lean tissue, or we can focus our efforts on trying to lose body fat, which I know is what a lot of us really want to lose, because a bit of muscle, it looks lean, it looks sexy, but I know a lot of you ladies really don't care. If it's just weight and you don't care whether you lose a bit of muscle, please then just know that you must keep to within your personal total daily energy requirements. And your daily energy requirements can be worked out pretty easily. It's not magic, it's not mystery. You can go onto any online calculator. I will link to 1 or 2 down below. Gym Geek is a good one. There's a few, I think it's calculator.net. There's a couple. You just type into Google online calorie calculator or daily caloric needs calculator. You'll find a whole lot. Spend an hour going through them. And I always say, just to make sure you're getting an accurate daily caloric needs amount, do 3 of them, because they all spit out a different number. For me, it's averaging around 1,600 calories, which is sad. It's not a lot of food. It's really sad. However, that tells me when I do gain weight that I know, because I know it's easy to eat the Lindt chocolate and the little extra scoop of Nutella and peanut butter and all these delicious things. I do that a lot, and then I see the weight creep up, and then I'm like, oh, and then I know what I have to cut out. I know. I don't lie to myself, and I encourage you guys to do the same. And again, this is not a judgment. Please, this is not a judgment. It's just, I would like to encourage you and to help you be very honest with what you are putting into your body, into your mouth throughout the day, And it's not to make you feel bad, it's to make you aware. It's very easy to overdo it with the milk, with the, like I say, the peanut butter, with these healthy foods, these healthy trail mixes, granolas, mueslis, full-fat Greek yogurt. It all adds up. Full-fat Greek yogurt is not that high in protein, and it's marketed as a high-protein food, but it comes with a lot of fat. And there's nothing wrong with fat, but fat adds up. It does add up, ladies, and it's very quick to add up, and suddenly you're at your total daily calories for the day, and all you've had is like 2 or 3 tablespoons of, I don't know, nut butter or your mayonnaise or your sauces, and you're done. And so I always say, go back to using a food tracking app or some kind of thing where you're measuring, tracking, seeing what's in the food. I know it's a pain in the ass. You don't have to do it forever, but just do it for a short period of time to just bring that awareness back. Like, we know in our minds, we know that mayonnaise is, especially Hellmann's mayonnaise is high fat. Delicious, yes, I love it, but it's very high in fat. So I find that once I'm lean, I'll add a bit of this back in, but it very quickly creeps back up. And then I have to cut them out again. So it's a give and take, and it's a choice. Everything you do, everything you put in your mouth is a choice. Would I rather lose the weight? Would I rather be lean? Would I rather have fat loss? Or would I rather have the pleasure of this food right now today? And there's no right or wrong. There really is no right or wrong. You are not bad for gaining weight. You're not a bad person. You're the same lovely, beautiful lady. It is just, if you want to lose weight, this is what you have to do. It's just the plain fact. And ideally, what you want to do is, if you think about your 3 main macros, proteins, carbs, fats, think of a circle and you divide it into 3. Ideally, for me at least, this is what works, is you want all your calories to be equally divided. So fat calories, carb calories, and protein calories around a third each, give or take, give or take. What you want to do is keep your protein consistent. Aim for a gram of protein per pound of body weight, per pound of ideal body weight a day. And then play around with your fats and carbs. But I like a good balanced mix because we need carbs to fuel our activity. We need the carbs to fuel our brains. Keto can work. It worked really well for my mom, but it seemed to work really well in the beginning. And then she sort of stalled and plateaued, and now it's not working as well. Okay, she's also adding in some carbs, but I personally just find keto, it can work in the beginning, but then I think transition to something more holistic. But then you do have to be aware of calories, total calories in food. I'm sorry, it sucks, it does, but they do count, they count. I've said that over and over on this channel. I feel like a stuck record, but it does work. And if you want to indulge in a few cocktails, look, I think alcohol, the older we get, the worse it is for us. But you are then going to track that as carbs, even though alcohol is like 7 calories per gram. It's almost as high in calories as fat, but you would just track it as a carb. Find that cocktail on your food tracking app, whichever one you like. Google them. MyFitnessPal is a good one. You can do the paid version as well, just for a period of time until you learn. And then you find some, like, let's say you're going out, it's a specialty cocktail that only that bar makes, but you find something similar. Or you think what the ingredients are, or you look at the ingredients list and you put them in. And is this a lot of work? And is this all a pain in the ass? Yes, it is. Again, what do you want? Do you want to lose the weight? Because if you want that badly enough, you will put in the effort. And of course, you can lose weight without doing all of this, but it helps us so much that why wouldn't you do that? To me, why wouldn't you use technology and these apps? And I mean, a food scale, it's a simple thing. You can just weigh and measure every portion of whatever it is you're putting in your mouth. Pizza, lasagna, donuts, muffins. Just weigh it, get how many grams it is, pop it into your food tracking app. It's that simple. It's one extra step. And again, yes, it's a pain in the ass. You do it for a period of time. But again, you don't have to lose weight. I'm not telling you to lose weight, but a lot of you are telling me that this is the information you need. And the information is all there. And again, I remind you, I've got if I say so myself, it's a brilliant video. It's how to hit your protein goals within a calorie budget of 1,500 calories. I will link to that video in the description box below. My other brilliant video is how you can calculate your macros and your daily calorie needs without using an app. It's actually, you just put in the numbers. It's all there in the video. It's easy peasy, step by step. It doesn't take a lot of work. You just need a calculator and you work out how many calories you need. And it's accurate. It's pretty darn accurate. So again, give yourself the time. Take out an hour out of your day. Work out your calorie needs. And obviously you base it around how active you are in general in a week. If you go through a period of more activity, adjust. If you go through a period where, let's say, you can't exercise, you're injured, you're sick, adjust down. But do it. Do it. I cannot encourage you enough. It really does help. You can do it blindly by, eating something, like eating a certain way and checking yourself every day on the scale and seeing what happens on the scale. That works. That's really another good way. But I just find that that's a little bit like groping around in the dark, because you don't know, like it's not giving you information about what foods contain which macros. And really, I do feel that hitting your protein goals is one of the best things you can do. Sorry if there's street noise. For weight loss, especially as we get older, it really does help. It works every time. It keeps you satiated. It stabilizes your blood sugar, which I find the older we get, the more wonky our blood sugars go. Fiber is another good one. The older we get, if you can tolerate it, obviously, if you have BMI and whatever. No, what's it? Not BMI. Irritable bowel. Anyway, you know what I mean. The bowel thing. Just be careful with your fibers, but you can take digestive enzymes as well. But there are ways and means to eat healthy. And here's the last little bit of advice. The hack, if you don't want to track and calculate, but I encourage you to do it, even if it is just for a month or 3 months out of your life, just do it. But the hack is eat whole foods, go for mostly lean proteins, hit your protein goal, and fill in the rest with fruits, vegetables, because that'll get you your fiber and your carbs, and you don't have to overthink it. But obviously make sure you are eating within your calorie needs. That is like the overarching, the main principle. That is how I do it. It's just give and take. If I go over my calorie needs one day, I'll try and adjust the next day. And I do weigh myself almost every day. Not every day, almost. I don't obsess. I don't panic. If I binge or I overindulge, again, I don't panic, because by this age, I've done that whole cycle 1,000 times. And ladies, we have earned the right to just relax into our bodies. We've earned the right to have a little bit of extra body fat if we want to, or if nature is putting it there, that's okay. If you look, most ladies do gain weight around the time of perimenopause and menopause. It's very natural. It's very normal. It's not desirable to us because of society. Therefore, I make these videos to try and help you, to try and give you the tools that really, really work. The thing that moves the needle the most is not exercise. It is your total daily calorie requirements. If you stick within that, you will see weight loss success. It may take a while. It's not a fast process. Please don't try and rush it. Keep your weight loss sustainable and steady. Weight loss doesn't happen magically. There's no magic diet. There's no magic food to avoid. There's no magic food to eat to lose weight. Healthy whole foods, lean proteins, hit your protein goals, get enough fiber, rest, get outside, look after your mental health, all the basics, all the things we've heard over and over and over. They work. And why do they work? Because they are the basics. There's no hack. There's no overnight weight loss thing. And that's really it. That's how I stay slim at 46. That's how I maintain my weight. That's my secret, which is not really a secret at all. There is no secret. The secret is consistency and not letting my weight get too high. I really hope this video has helped you in some way, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, beautiful ladies.